Hello and welcome to another random tech video. Previously I showed playing PlayStation 1 and 2 games on a PC CRT monitor using this little converter box. They can be found on eBay for £10 to £12 and work very well for native region games. It can convert S-video or composite signals to a VGA signal, perfect for old computer monitors. All is fine until you want to play import games. It incorrectly states being able to convert NTSC signals and was very disappointed when all my games were playing in black and white. This though is where the topic of today's video comes in, with this little board. This is the GBS8200. It is used typically for arcade cabinets, so any aging screens can be replaced with more modern LCDs. It has a variety of inputs that can be output to VGA, so it's very useful for a number of retro consoles and being able to use an old CRT monitor. You can see here clearly the ports for component cables. This makes it perfect for the PlayStation 2. With this it's very easy to get up and running, playing PS1 and 2 games on a CRT monitor, and on top of that, no need to worry about game regions. Obviously you need to have some kind of modded PS2, but if you're in that camp, and these days it's fairly easy with being able to soft mod, then this is going to be a really good solution. Much like the previous converter box I showed, these are widely available on Amazon and eBay for around £16, so I would say convert that to about $20-ish. There's a slight issue with getting hold of these, and that is to do with the version number. If you read online, some of the older board revisions have some bugs that can cause issues for some of the input modes. The revision here is a V4, and I've had very little issue with it. Before going into specifics though, let's have a look at its setup and in action. So again, here we have the Siemens monitor. It's hooked up to the converter board. Forgive the mess, but as you can see, it's working quite nicely. The board only takes video, not audio, so I have this janky setup on the side to connect audio through an external amp and speakers. On the top you can see 4 buttons. These are used to change the various options. Here is the main menu. Just a note, language was initially set to Chinese. Luckily the options stay in order, so you can simply navigate this to set it to English. Picture options, I found leaving them was fine for my uses, but brightness and contrast, etc., they can be fiddled with here. Geometry doesn't seem to do anything, at least with this current setup, and then display allows you to change the output resolution. This is very nice as you can match your monitor's native resolution, and I simply left this to 640 by 480. To test it out, I thought I'd pull out a couple of games. This is the Asia version of Soul Calibur 3, so it's the Japanese version but with English text. I really love the picture on here. The colours are ever so slightly more vibrant than with the other converter using S-video. And here is a test of a PAL version of Gran Turismo 3. Again, it looks and plays really nicely. Finally, R-Type Delta for the PS1. I think the biggest bonus with this setup is being able to play PS1 games via component out, as actual PS1s don't have this ability, at least without modification. Overall, this comes as a pretty easy way to play PS1 and 2 games via hardware with decent quality on a PC CRT. You can't really ask for much more. The price is good and setup is fairly straightforward. There are obviously though some drawbacks, one being that it's not great having an exposed board. I got around that by putting it in this old router case. I just clipped off some of the plastic so the ports are accessible. This is a very lazy solution, but it works at keeping majority of dust and grime out. Sadly, there is one other issue which this can't fix, and that's to do with shielding. Here's some footage of me playing Final Fantasy VIII. I found the audio channel would knock out the picture. This was especially annoying when using Squall's Gunblade, or any ability that had, fairly explosive sound effects. I'll provide a link below though to Retro Man Cave video where he shows fixing the noise on one of these boards by shielding it. Anyway, that was an overview of the GBS8200, a really handy little board that, even with its drawbacks, is definitely worth a look for retro hardware needs. It's good, it's well priced, it's easy to get going, so yeah. If you have any questions or comments, make sure to put them below. Let me know if you've used this board or anything similar to play your retro hardware on CRT screens. Other than that, like and or subscribe if this was useful or informative, and I'll see you next time.